Attention passionate Green Bay Packers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Green Bay Packers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Green Bay Packers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Green Bay Packers fans. Let's get to the news. All right, folks, buckle up because what I'm about to tell you could be one of the most impactful moves in the NFC North this season. Rumors are swirling around a shocking trade that could reshape the landscape of the division, and it involves none other than Saquon Barkley, the star running back of the Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, you heard that right. The Eagles, sitting comfortably at 7-2 and boasting one of the league's most explosive offenses, are reportedly open to trading Barkley to the Green Bay Packers in exchange for a first-round pick in the 2026 draft. This isn't just speculation. It's coming from credible sources, including Adam Schefter himself, who has been dropping hints about this possibility, and the implications are enormous for both teams and the NFC North as a whole. Let's start breaking down what this trade could mean and why it's such a big deal for the Packers. The Eagles, with a record of 7-2 and a potent offense averaging over 34 points per game, have been prioritizing their secondary and cap management, freeing up around $14 million in salary cap space after their ground-dominant approach in recent weeks. Barkley, in the meantime, has been a key piece of Philly's offense, a true Pro Bowl caliber back who's not just a power runner, but also capable of explosive plays. His stats this season are impressive. 195 carries for 892 yards, averaging 4.6 yards per carry, with 8 touchdowns and a PFF grade of 82. His yards after contact, or YAC, are around 40 yards, which shows how tough and elusive he is for defenders. Barkley's career totals are just as remarkable, with over 800 carries for more than 500 yards and close to 70 rushing touchdowns. He's been relatively healthy, missing only about 10 games in his career, and that's huge because durability is a big concern for running backs. Now, why would the Packers be interested in a move like this? Well, for starters, the Packers are sitting with a cap space of roughly $3 million, and they're in need of a dynamic running back to complement their offense. Their current backfield, while solid, lacks that thunder and explosiveness that Barkley can bring. Green Bay's offense, led by quarterback Jordan Love, has been climbing and showing signs of real promise. But adding a player of Barkley's caliber could be the missing piece to solidify their ground game, especially in close games and playoff scenarios. His ability to gain short yardage, break tackles, and turn small plays into big gains would be a game changer for the Packers, who have been trying to balance their attack with efficient runs and effective play-action passes. The impact on Green Bay's offense could be seismic. Experts project Barkley to rush for around 400 yards this season if he joins the Packers. And that's not just a number thrown out arbitrarily. His presence would boost the Packers' EPA per run by over 20%, making their ground game much more efficient and unpredictable. His red zone threat would increase by approximately 25%, giving the Packers a reliable option in critical moments. Statistically, he would improve the YPC from 4.0 to nearly 4.8, and his physicality would give the offense a new level of balance and threat. Defensively, the Packers could benefit by controlling the clock more effectively, keeping their defense fresh and on the field longer, which is especially important given the division's physical style of play. Furthermore, the numbers tell us that adding Barkley could lead to a boost in overall team win probability, with projections indicating a potential increase of around 13% in division-winning chances. The Packers' offensive output could see a jump from roughly 6 points per game to nearly 29, and their third-down conversion rate could climb from 39% to 44%. Turnovers might increase slightly, but the overall balance and physicality would make Green Bay a much tougher team to beat. The division rivals, especially teams like Detroit and Minnesota, would have to contend with a more aggressive, balanced Packers squad that can run the ball effectively and control the clock. Now, the trade itself isn't just about adding a star running back. It's about making a statement, showing that Green Bay is willing to go all in for a playoff run and possibly even a deep postseason push. Barkley's presence would be a clear signal to the rest of the NFC that the Packers mean business, that they're not just trying to sneak into the playoffs, but aiming to be a serious contender. And let's not forget the emotional and psychological boost this could give the team and the fans. Seeing a player of Barkley's caliber in green and gold would energize the entire city of Green Bay, knowing that their team is making bold moves to reclaim their place at the top. Of course, there are skeptics. Some analysts point out that trading a first-round pick for a running back is risky, given the typical injury concerns and the short shelf life of RBs at the elite level. The Eagles, on the other hand, are reportedly optimistic about their roster, but they're also aware that Barkley's contract situation and their cap management are factors in this potential trade. They see this as an opportunity to capitalize on Barkley's value, especially since they're in a strong playoff position and might want to add depth elsewhere. And what about the Packers' side? Well, they're cautiously optimistic. They see Barkley as a perfect fit for their current needs, especially with their running back depth chart being a bit thin after injuries and roster adjustments. The addition of Barkley would allow them to diversify their offensive attack, making it less predictable and more dangerous. It could also help quarterback Jordan Love develop further, as a strong running game often opens up the passing game, creating more opportunities for receivers and playmakers like Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs. This kind of move would also send a strong message to the NFC North. The Lions have been riding high with Jared Goff and a potent offense, but if Green Bay manages to land Barkley, they would suddenly have a much more formidable ground attack and a better shot at overtaking Detroit in the standings. The Vikings, always competitive, would also have to double down on their efforts, knowing that the Packers aren't sitting still. In this division, the physicality and running game often dictate the tone of the season, and adding Barkley would tilt the scales even more in Green Bay's favor. Looking ahead, Packers fans are naturally excited about the possibilities. There's a lot of buzz around whether this trade will materialize, and if it does, how it will reshape the NFC North race. The team has been building steadily, and this move could be the final piece needed to push them over the top. Plus, it's worth noting that such a move would reflect the Packers' willingness to be aggressive, to take calculated risks, and to prioritize winning now rather than waiting for the future. That's exactly the kind of mindset that has made Green Bay a perennial contender for decades. Of course, everything hinges on negotiations, cap considerations, and the trust between the teams. The Eagles are in a strong position with a winning record and a stable roster, but they might see Barkley as someone they can afford to part with, especially if the Packers are willing to offer a first-rounder in 2026. For Green Bay, it's about weighing the immediate impact versus the long-term value of that draft pick. But if the rumors prove true, you can bet that Packers fans will be thrilled, and the NFL landscape might just be shifting in a big way. So, in summary, this potential trade isn't just a rumor, it's a statement of intent. The Packers are looking to make a bold move, to add a game-changing talent who could elevate their offense to new heights. Barkley's ability to run physically, break tackles, and produce big plays would transform Green Bay's attack, making them a more balanced, dangerous team capable of competing at the highest level. It's a move that could have ripple effects throughout the division and beyond, and fans should be watching closely because, if it happens, it could be one of those defining moments that define this season. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Green Bay Packers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Green Bay Packers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential Barkley trade? Do you think it's the move that puts Green Bay over the top? Or are there risks you're concerned about? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Green Bay Packers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Green Bay Packers news. We're in the thick of the season now, and every move, every game counts. So keep the faith, keep the passion, and let's see how this story unfolds. Go Pack, go.